Welcome back to Crispy's Projects. In this episode we're going to be fitting a Rusty Lee bed. The bed that they say is the most comfortable bed you've ever come across. Sitting on it now, I'm not too sure, but my wife tells me we're supposed to put something on here. The rock and roll bed arrived well packaged and one day early. It included this massive plate that would sit underneath the chassis and help spread the load if you ever were in an accident. We followed the guide on the website, which we had to remove the spare wheel and the trims from the underside. So we managed to get all that off. There was one or two that were an absolute pain to get off, but that's more or less where the chassis rails come into. Oh, and it's the only bit that's rust free. I'm quite happy with that. I'm quite intrigued on how this plate fits. So this is the safety plate that goes underneath. So that essentially bolts up to the underside of the chassis just to secure it, and that's what makes it crash tested. The plate uses the tow bar fittings or these supplied brackets if you don't have a tow bar. So it looks like it would be a lot easier if I didn't have a tow bar fitted, so I've got to get these bolts off to be able to offer the chassis sort of up there, and it utilises the bolts somehow. And even you. Right, we've come across a little bit of a problem. Our tow bar has got really big bolts on. So these are 12mm, I couldn't think then. These are 12mm, and guess what the holes are? Not 12mm. And I haven't got a 12mm drill bit. All I've got is my Christmas tree cutter. So let's see whether we can actually get through on it. Made all the poles larger and painted the bare metal. So the instructions say, get yourself a friend to lift it up. Now if you're not used to bench pressing, which I'm certainly not, and my friend certainly isn't either, we got our third friend. His name's Clark, and he's very good at lifting stuff. So let's see if we can get this anywhere near where it needs to be, because this is what you pay the extra money for, rather than just buying a nice cheap one that could cost you half the amount of money, because there's way less steel in those cheap ones. This is good stuff. I'm happy with this. I'm not happy fitting it, but I'm happy with it. And I have got a rubber pad on here just to protect it as well. I think the toe bit needs to move over a little bit. Proper setting ourselves up here. To me, to you.
That's it. And I'll get over.
Right, I've got one bolt here, haven't I?
Yeah, I can see half the thread, half the hole.
So, you want me to go down?
No, it's just, the plate needs to go up more still.
So we're still struggling to get the actual tow bar on and the actual bottom plate. I tell you, it's a very good fit. However, I've had to modify the very last bolt just to put a little bit of an edge on, just so we can actually line up the hole, because we're just fighting against three things: the bottom plate, the tow bar, and the actual chassis of the vehicle, which, as far as I know, isn't bent. But it might be by the time we finish with it, the amount of hammering I want to do to it. Get that one through, let's have a look.
Right, otherwise I'll rip down the van though, won't it?
We're fighting against the van. Not exactly your preferred method. We've just fitted the big massive plate. What's the difference with this bed compared with other beds? So, quality of the steel, the thickness of the steel, the welds are very good. So let's get it in and then we'll see how it works. When it says it takes all day, it certainly feels like all day, and we've still got a load to do. Oh, it's heavy there. So we put a bit of cardboard down just to help protect it. Almost like that up again. Because you don't want to mark the brand new floor that we've just done. That's in a previous episode.
Okay.
So we've got to pull this out to be into bed mode. Is that knocking against that, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. It's a good bit of spring on it.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts aren't really attached to anything though. Get a friend to hold it. And this is exactly why you've got to bolt it down.
Which fingers?
That's it.
Is it the first one?
Yeah.
It's definitely.
So we're trying to work out where everything goes. We are reading the instructions, so we've got those, which we're guessing goes underneath in the box section. That side, because you've got some holes. You've got 2 holes there, 2 holes there. Which, to be fair, underneath this plate, it's only 2mm steel, whatever it is. No, not through the plate, but through the actual chassis.
Oh yeah.
And then the
2mm,
yeah, and then the 4mm.
Yeah.
So they're really long bolts. So is that box section the size of that then? So we've lined it all up. 260 from the side. I've got lining on there, so it's 47mm. We've got it 100% square. I'm very happy with that. So the biggest concern has been these long bolts that go through the chassis plate. So the chassis plate, which is underneath, we're just worried. Oh, that's a perfect size there. So I think we're going to go for it. I think we're going for it. Apparently he knows what he's doing because I haven't got a clue. Woodwork's my speciality. Actually, it's not, is it? I get to do the first one because I get to mess it up then, and they say, I told you it was out. So there's all the bolts that we're going to get ready to put in. All we've got to do is finalise the measurements. So distance wise, left to right, we're sorted. We've just got to work out this back little section there. So it's 260. So Lee at Coombe Valley Campers has actually shown where we measure 260 from. So originally we thought it would be 260 from there to there, even though we read the instructions, but actually it's from the edge of here, because we were looking at it and this looked like it was going into the box section, which didn't make sense because these bolts just seem too short, whereas from there looks a little bit more sensible, and it gives us that little bit more room. That's the way to do it.
That must be through.
I don't know, can't see.
You can't get to that one. The drill's too long.
I've got no idea where that is. That's in the bloody box section.
Is it?
Well, it's fair to say that was a little bit more difficult than we expected. Mostly just getting it all lined up, getting it all sorted, and then drilling through. Luckily, a lot of the pilot drills I've got are cold bolt drills, so it goes through really easily. But we've still got, like, is it 4 or 5mm plate underneath, which is the load spreader. So the load spreader is what makes this one of the safest ones on the market, and I can clearly see why it is such a sought after, well respected brand, because so far it's been a pleasure to fit. Other than not really knowing what we're doing, I think we could really do with updating some of these instructions. Possibly some instructions actually thrown in on a little PDF would certainly help us novices who don't know what we're doing. No, that's the wrong bolt. That's that one.
I think you can get that one in.
So why have I opted for a rusty lead bed over anything else? I've got children. I want to know that we can travel somewhere. Not planning to have an accident, but we could have an accident, and it's the safest option they've got. So the friend that's been helping me today does work in the engineering trade, and dare I say, he's been blown away with the quality of the build, just the structure of the engineering, the way that it actually works and folds. It's got very little resistance when it comes to opening and closing it. And he paid particular attention to the welds. So Lee, welds are really, really good. It's nice that it's powder coated. It's fairly solid. I like the way the seat belts are. Next task is to actually go underneath there and bolt everything up. What problems did we have trying to fit it? Because overall, really, really good. I think the only real issue was the measuring from the front to the back. That little, trying to work exactly where this position was. Setting up this side, I've put it about 45mm. So if I pushed against the thermal lining, that's got 50mm. So I was quite happy 45mm. And got it square on with the laminate flooring. So I think that's probably a key thing that nobody's ever going to notice. And also the other bolt that's in the corner, because that corner is a real pain to get into. It's sort of like dropped it into the box section. So we've rechecked and rechecked and rechecked, and it does not make any sense. Putting it in the box section, it just seems to be the hardest bit to do. So hopefully going to get that all sorted. But yeah, next up is actually doing the wood, doing the foam, which I'm probably going to do in another video because I haven't quite got the foam ready yet. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, a like, a push for time constraints, because I've desperately got so much to do in the next couple of days. I can just see the time run away from myself. So I'm going to get cracked on while it goes dark and actually put the rear bumper on. But thanks very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da. And I could really do with some dinner. I've not had anything since about lunchtime, and that was hours ago. Oh, I did have a Chelsea bun. I enjoyed that one.